Go! Mango! Speciata! Hey guys, welcome to this Go Mango special. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and with me today we have...
Makotoa.
Welcome back, my man, and today we are going to be reviewing Wonder Woman!
Wonderful.
Oh.
Well,
Okay, what did you think?
what did I think? I think overall it reminded me of like that base level that a Marvel movie typically gives you. It's like, okay, I know it's going to be base level good. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what it was to me. It was like that was a solid movie. Like I really enjoyed the first and second act. The third act dipped off because it went into that like bombastic DC universe explosions ending that they seemed to really enjoy.
Yeah.
But like it kind of got a bit awkward for me. It kind of took me out of it, but like overall I really loved the depiction of Wonder Woman. I thought I like her depiction a lot more than I like the depiction of, like, say, Superman.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
comparatively, because I've already been asked, like, what do you think was better, Man of Steel or Wonder Woman? And I have to say Wonder Woman because I wasn't so on board with the kind of dark and brooding type of Superman that we saw.
Yeah.
I'm more...
I want a more hopeful story. And
yeah,
that's
I more
what we
enjoyed this because, like, she actually had these very idealistic ideas of like good and evil, you know. And it was a cool contrast to see it happen in like World War One, so it's not always clean cut. But in the end, it kind of was, and she's still like you saw it when she was like helping.
It wasn't just for the simple fact that like, despite vanquishing. Oh wait, should we head into By the way, this is a spoiler review. So
Yeah.
so watch out. Don't listen to this. Simply just don't listen to this until you've watched it. But so I'm giving you the chance now. You better leave. Somehow spoil something.
Sorry.
All right. So when she vanquishes Ares, the human race still goes on as kind of corrupt and bad.
I mean, yeah, they did. I didn't particularly like how, like, suddenly at the end, the German soldiers and the Americans were like, "Oh, we're all friends now."
Okay, like, I have a thought about that. Like, the amount of energy, or not energy, but, like, the amount of, like, negative, I guess. So, he has an heir to. Ares has this, I don't want to say area of effect, but, like, the closer you are to him, maybe it has something to do with... So once you blow it up and push away all that like evil, kind of like pushes it out, like outward, like away.
I mean, it's not that very like it doesn't seem that way to me as much because he was explaining that I didn't do anything. I didn't kill anyone.
Right.
I just whispered in their ear the different like, and it shows him doing it, the different like horrible plans and technologies that he had. So he was just giving them horrible ideas and trying to prove a point that men are still evil inherently, and that it wasn't
so
that they were
basically the Joker from.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I'm, and the thing is, even at the end when Wonder Woman is like monologuing, she does say that, you know, men are still capable of both, right? It wasn't like they all suddenly stopped being evil as a result.
Right.
So, but like it was still on a hopeful tone that, you know, they're still within reason. They're still within saving.
And like
so, yeah.
I feel like the biggest strength here is that, like, you know, Superman has tragedy in it. Batman versus Superman has tragedy in it. Did you know that Bruce Wayne's parents died? What? Friggin' tragic. But and it really bogged down those films. And for Wonder Woman, sure, there was tragedy, but there was always this hopeful sense, and like this also sort of like the sense of adventure, just because she has such a fish out of water look,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, view of the rest of the world. So she's discovering new things, and everything is so new, and she
Yeah.
wants to keep going. She like you still get the tragedy, you still get the backstory, you still get the grit,
Yes.
but you also get a hopeful story, of an uplifting story. Um,
Yeah.
and like you, I felt that the first two acts were strong, and the third act was pretty weak. And I feel like it falls into the same trap that maybe, and maybe this is the comparable movie, Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie. The first and second acts were really good. And then the last one, it kind of fell off. Oh, Iron Man fights a bigger Iron Man and beats him up. Woo!
Well, I
And
mean,
then
that first Iron Man movie did like kick off,
it
like
did. No, no, no.
it's
I
still,
mean,
yeah.
it,
Maybe by now it's gotten old for us, so it's not as
sure. Yeah.
digestible because it's kind of like the same thing with the whole portal over New York City type deal that we keep seeing,
Yeah,
like in
okay. I have
movies.
some about that. People were like, "Oh, I'm so glad it wasn't a portal over New York again," but like, she just shot him and blew him up. What's the difference, right? I mean, it's just
I
a big light show. I was not compelled by the fight at all. I
yeah,
mean, like, again, the first and second acts were really good. We got this beautiful depiction of Themyscira, and
mm-hmm.
like going into it, people have like this vague knowledge of Amazons, and like, oh yeah, they're super strong, only women, like in a secluded
Warriors.
area, but you
Mm.
don't really understand um the warrior side of it. Like you can't fathom how brilliant they are at being warriors. And
I
then
think
I saw this movie and I understood the things that they were doing. Sure, it was a bit hokey, but they didn't, like, they fully committed to it. All this stuff was like, it looked amazing. The stunts
I,
they were doing were so cool.
I I think what you're trying to get to is rather than just saying it that they're really amazing, they're strong, they actually showed that they were
No, no, no,
amazing
no,
and
no.
strong.
Like, I mean, like that. Yes, yes, that's a good thing. But what I'm saying is, you don't, like. I've never really understood. Like, my prior knowledge is that, yeah, Amazons are like cool, and they're great fighters and all that. They're warriors, but never have I seen it depicted in such a way that they are
Okay.
far and above, um, just any sort of anything that any human could do.
All right.
I mean, I knew it. Like, that's something I knew. I've never seen it in this way, and it was cool to see.
It definitely was a beautiful scenery and like just seeing them all fighting and stuff and seeing how like you had this child who looked up to the warrior who was like training them and wanted to be trained too. It
Yeah.
was really endearing. I really enjoyed the first part of the story in that regard.
Hmm.
Um, I do want to say I am actually really pleased with our male lead as well. I'm really glad that they didn't make him like a weak male, as in like
Yeah,
not to
he
say
was
that he
still
was
he
as
was still an
strong. He
active.
was he was still a leader. He was still strong, and he brought things to the table that she couldn't, as well as how she brought things to the table that he couldn't. So there was a good balance, and it didn't like that. That's one of the things that I really liked about this movie when it comes to the whole, and it's gonna happen. It's already been talked about, like the whole feminine type or feminist type stuff, right? Well, the really really like I guess the extreme feminists who really like to have kind of say that women are better than men in a type of way.
No, I
It
see
really,
what you're saying.
yeah,
Let me
it's
save you from possibly just, polarizing viewers, but
all right.
um, I appreciated, like you said, the balance between them. I'm glad that one was not more. I mean, Wonder Woman obviously, was more, was stronger than Steve, but Steve had this charisma. He had the knowledge. He had,
Yeah.
there was something to him, and it's all about like being on an even playing field, and
Hmm.
that's I'm glad that that is the message that they got across.
I did really enjoy that it wasn't like demeaning men, it wasn't demeaning women. It just showed them
Yeah,
as both strong in their own way, you
equals,
know? Yeah.
equals, and be seeing that they accomplished that. Like I was afraid going into it that they would have a scene where they kind of bumped uglies. I didn't know how to feel about it, but like, well, no. Because generally that kind of serves to undermine someone's character if you show some of the wrong sides of it.
I
And
understand. It
yeah,
kind of they can come off sleazy if it wasn't like if it felt like no, I don't see that character doing that.
yeah, exactly. But
You
but they show us enough. Like I was invested in their relationship, and I kind of wanted. I knew that they wouldn't ultimately end up together,
Yeah.
but just having that moment happen and then just leaving it alone. I don't know. There was something to it. Something I can't quite pinpoint why it worked better than I thought it was going to, but they handled it pretty well. Again, like I don't have the words or any sort of I
Can I
don't
share
know
my
why I
opinion on it?
liked it. I don't know why it
Okay.
worked for me,
Okay.
but it did.
Let me share my opinion on it. The one thing
Sure.
that I found funny was that the movie, and this obviously is supposed to be a kids movie. Like if you
Yep.
notice, there was literally no blood. Like the whole movie,
Yeah,
there
like
was
even when she
absolute like
stabbed quote unquote Ares, there was
that
no blood on
bothered
the
me.
sword.
Really bothered me that there wasn't even blood on the sword when she stabbed him. But okay, no blood. We're a kids movie, but at the same time, they did not mind going really like dirty with some of the like dialogue.
It's
We were
innuendo.
talking
It
we were
hold up.
talking some
It's
male anatomy
innuendo.
stuff for
It
like,
doesn't count. She was talking about the Watchman. What are you thinking?
oh my
You're dirty for
goodness, dude,
thinking
the
that.
innuendos. So like they didn't like they went further than I expected them to go in a kids movie with the jokes, but also even like with the bedroom scene. Like they could have
Mhm.
stopped at him going back in, but they even had a moment where they were just gazing into each other's eyes for a minute. Like I'm glad that they didn't go further than that. Like it did seem like it was all right. Like it's like okay, it's safe enough, right? Kids can still watch this.
Yeah.
And they hopefully like, it's human anatomy, so the whole jokes at the beginning maybe isn't too bad, but like it was just kind of funny that they were willing to go that
Hold on.
far
I
with.
love how this movie. Sorry to cut you off. This movie might be a child's introduction to what sex is.
Oh no.
Like Wonder Woman empirically, or no, giving just the 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 cold hard facts about it. And
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I found it like it was funny when they were on the boat ride back
Mm.
to like civilization, and she's like, "Oh, so you guys don't sleep with women?" It's like, "Oh, no." Like the dialogue was charming.
It
I
was,
liked the
yeah.
rapport between the two characters. I wasn't as sold on some of the side characters that we got brought in. Like,
Oh man, the okay. I don't know if it was an accurate portrayal. This might just be me being racist. I don't know what it was about the Native American guy. I don't know if he was a good actor. He
hmm
didn't feel like he was acting most of the time.
I
And he was
I
stumbling
mean,
over lines. I didn't. Is there?
I I don't know. I was indifferent with him. I think
Really,
I was more bothered with the
the
with
drunk Scottish guy or the guy that
the
knows a lot of languages?
the guy who knows a lot of languages. Like I thought it was a funny like little back and forth that he had with Wonder Woman in the bar. But I don't know, something didn't click with me with him. I thought it was endearing that he had that little story about, he wanted to be an actor.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
I
funny
love that.
because it took me out of the movie because like you're actually an actor and you're but I think the part that bothered me the most wasn't with him, it was with the Scottish guy because he was the marksman, but he never actually shot
Yeah, he
anyone.
did. Wait, yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah. Like toward the beginning of the fight, um like it was just at the one moment they conveniently didn't need him to shoot, or they conveniently wanted him to shoot but he couldn't.
Yeah.
Like it was just that one time. That one time. And that bothered me. But it served to give us this pretty dope scene. Something that was set up that I didn't think they would bring back, and they did.
What's that?
At the beginning of or when they were fighting on the beach earlier, one of the
Oh,
Amazon warriors, or yeah, pulls out their shield, and then the dope warrior lady goes like shield, and then
and then
jumps on it, and she gets
yeah,
lofted up in the air, and then bam,
that was
they bring
amazing.
it back. I wasn't expecting it, and it blew my mind. It was so cool.
That was real fun.
Yeah.
That was real fun. Wow.
And there's just a lot of and I'm glad that this didn't turn into a bash fest of the last, the final act, because there's definitely a lot of stuff here that I did like, and I'm glad that I'm
Yeah.
remembering a lot of it.
Yeah, the dialogue she had with the male lead whose name
Steve
escapes me.
Trevor.
Yeah, it worked. It was
Yeah.
fine for the scene. I was kind of sad that she didn't like go with him and that but like I guess it's understandable
You know
for the
what bothered me though
what?
toward the end? Like they had established that she could withstand the gas, right?
Yeah.
Um, though I'm not entirely sure about explosions, but I'm convinced. I'm convinced that she could have gotten in that plane and blown it up without her having like gotten hurt. I mean, I don't know if she could have piloted the plane,
She yeah,
but
no.
but
That she
I don't
definitely
know.
couldn't have piloted it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that might have been it. That must have been it then.
She couldn't have piloted it.
Yeah.
If she could fly, maybe she could have done it, but she hasn't learned
Yeah.
that yet.
What I didn't quite understand. So he was talking to her, and there was just this fuzz the first time. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna fly the plane, and I'm gonna die. So bye bye." The first time there was just this ringing in her ear, and then what happened later when she remembered it? Like, oh wait, forgot to turn that filter off. Click.
I mean, I thought it was a clever tactic, and I actually enjoyed
I
that moment.
I don't know,
It,
cause it was
well,
material that she had that we saw like she had cards that we didn't know she had.
well,
Like she
that was
saw,
the
yeah,
yeah, that was the point, and it was to come back later when she needed it, and that for the audience to see because I've seen this done before. It's just like we didn't like in other films say they've done this where it's just silent and you
mm,
can't hear, but you know that the character can hear. I guess the difference here is we thought that the ringing in her ear meant she couldn't,
yeah.
but she actually could. It was just for more effect that maybe she
I don't
was
know.
dazed. I mean, hey, you gave us the theory about how like the Germans in the area got their evil like pushed out of them. So I think this one is
I don't know. No, no, no. But
pliable.
like, cause that comes that is in line with what they showed us and what I thought was reasonable to believe. But they showed us one scene and then showed it to us again, but with more information that, like, we saw the scene originally missing information. and I was convinced that that was the information that Wonder Woman had. And to suddenly regain that information, if that makes any sense,
Well, it
I don't
was just
know.
something. It was just that realization that oh, she actually did know, and so I was thinking wrong. That's what threw
Ah,
you off.
no, 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 no. It's not that.
I'm not sure, but
I don't know. It just it bothered me. Like,
okay.
did she go back to the memory and was like, "Oh, wait a second, I can read mouths," and that's what he was saying. Ah, shoot.
I don't think that was
Ah,
it,
darn
but
it. I don't know that. I don't know. That was just an editing thing. I could.
yeah,
I mean,
they played.
small gripe. Like it. If I'm really grasping at straws to try to find a negative here, but like I did love how I was not expecting the plot twist that well I had a feeling that Ares wasn't that guy,
Yeah,
but I didn't know it was gonna be
yeah. I had no idea it
yeah
would be the British officer dude.
yeah. So that was pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? I did love the opening. How we started with a nod to the rest of the universe, and then it was just gone until the end. Like we didn't need
Okay.
to know. Hey, look, the Flash is in this universe. Hey, look,
Mm-hmm.
Batman. Just sprinkled throughout. So I'm glad that like man, it would have been nice to see like Wayne Industries. So oh wait, no, I don't think they were around back then. I
Yeah.
don't know, but it was cool to see. I don't know. I like this movie. I liked it a lot. I just so it's I went in with too high of an expectation. I heard so many good. I only heard good things. I heard, man, this was good. Man, Wonder Woman is great. Go watch it. It's amazing. So I thought they were going to do something different with the final act, something groundbreaking.
Yeah. No.
And it was your standard fare blow up the villain and it's over. I wish there was something stronger, like the Steve Trevor basically went and did the whole Captain America thing, except for instead of
Yeah.
getting all icy cold, he got all burnt up into a crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I really wish he had an emotional conclusion, the emotional conclusion that Steve got, not necessarily dying, but losing. I mean, she did lose Steve, but he was doing something else, you
The
know,
the
that
thing
wasn't.
that I haven't gotten to give too much on the ending that I
Mhm.
thought about, but things that I had a problem with especially was like the moment where he does explode or something and she's like trapped in that like iron like I don't know, she was rolled up
Oh
like
yeah.
yeah, she was rolled
Ares
up in this
was
iron
putting her to
plate.
bed,
Yeah,
rolling up the blanket.
and she something triggers her and she just like blows up out of it and like that yell of anger or whatever, it was awkward. It was an
Was it?
awkward scene for me. I was not too thrilled with it. It was the same as when the bad guy with his like CG body was like, "No, I'll destroy you," and like raises his
Yeah.
arms up. It got cheesy,
Yeah,
and I just that took me out of that scene. Like it wasn't. I mean, we've seen superhero scenes get bombastic
yeah.
like that in a
I
just like
honestly, I don't know.
it
Is
just
that the right way to use bombastic?
I'm saying bombastic as in it goes full CG and they're doing like crazy explosions and fights, but I haven't seen it that cheesy since like I don't want to say
Like
it, but
the we set up a pretty grounded world, right?
mm,
And the only kind of fantastical things that we ran into were given to us through those motion stills that were really cool.
that was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like the
that was the problem.
living painting.
We only got those. We never really sort of saw anything beyond what was reasonable to imagine like, oh yeah, an Amazon can do these stunts. That's fine. I understand that. I buy into that. But then
Hmm.
suddenly they break out Ares and all his magical stuff. It's just some old dude with armor. Also,
Yeah.
I'm surprised his face didn't change, or like at least get rid of his mustache or something change to his face, because he did not look like a villain
He
to
didn't
me.
look that buff either.
No,
Like
no, it
it
was
was a
straight up just the armor. Like, and
yeah.
the Ares that I know, like I would have liked to see his face entirely engulfed in darkness and then just glowing red eyes.
That would have been cool too.
Yeah.
Hmm. But
But it did feel like a pretty big CGI fest toward the end, and I feel like
yeah.
that was the biggest misstep of the film for me. Outside of that, I loved it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that's all of my opinions on it. I mean,
Yeah.
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 Who who?
I, I'm coming to the end of it too.
Okay, yeah,
I've
yeah,
gotten out what I generally wanted to say about it.
right. Okay, well, I guess now's good a time as any to stop right here. Anyways,
Hmm.
guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to tell us what you thought about the movie, tell us in the comments down below. And subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. We were going to be reviewing so many things because guess what? We're on summer vacation! So more
Yeah, we
stuff is
got
coming.
time to do
Yeah,
stuff now.
more stuff is coming. Get ready. I don't know if you'll be excited. We're just mildly prepared. We're happy to get stuff. But hey, get excited. Oh, hit the notification bell in order to make sure you get notified when we upload a new video. Dingle that dongle. And all the links to our social medias are in the description down below for the Go Mango side of things and our individuals. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. See ya.
Bye.